Hey humans, we have a really quick and disturbing update on the Ronnie McNutt case. This is a bonus video for this week, so just for those who care, I will be posting my regular video on Friday. So if you're already familiar with this story, then great, welcome. If you need some background or if you're not familiar with it, then I highly recommend going to watch my first video about this. That gives kind of what's going on, and I will have that linked in the description down below. But as I suspect most of you know, Ronnie McNutt's suicide video is being spread all over social media. There's this clip of himself with a gun, and it's being spread all over TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, you name it. I thought that it was actually slowing down, but apparently it's still pretty rampant. So there's actually two really disturbing updates about this. The first one is that apparently TikTok has been investigating this quite heavily, and after their investigation, they found evidence that this was actually a planned attack by a group of people on the dark web. So this is different than what we originally thought. At least what I originally thought was that it was just a group of people who had happened to copy the video when it was happening, and then mean and evil people were just spreading it across social media because they were trolling or they thought it was funny. But it turns out that this might have actually been very planned, deliberate, and thought out before it happened. Ronnie died on August 31st, and it didn't start circulating until I believe the week afterwards. So it's thought that in between that time, this group on the dark web was planning this whole thing out. Dark web ruins the party again. So it's pretty unclear why they would do this in the first place. I mean, if you're on the dark web, not everybody on there, of course, has good intentions, so it might just be a group of super duper assholes. But it is speculated that it's possible that they did this specifically to test how well social media platforms can take content like this down when it's widespread. And if that's the case, then this is actually extremely sinister. I mean, think about it. If this is just kind of the beta testing to see what happens, like what could these groups be planning in the future? What are they planning behind the scenes that's possibly even worse than this? If they posted this just to see how social media platforms would react and see how long it took them to take down. I'm not saying there's some big conspiracy here. I think that's pretty much what it is a group on the dark web doing this. But what kind of content are they going to basically attack everybody's social media with in the future if they're just testing something like this now? And this video is already really bad. And there's something to say about the fact that it's less random than we thought, that it's not just random trolls all over the internet doing this, but that it was actually more deliberate, thought out, and possibly people chatting about this extensively and planning it all out to make it big and difficult for platforms to take down. And to me, that just makes them even more heartless than I already thought they were. After my first video, I cannot tell you how many kids commented and reached out to me saying that they accidentally saw the video because their friend sent it to them and told them to watch it without telling them what it was, and then they were extremely traumatized by it. So there is disturbing update number one. Here is the second really horrible update about this. Ronnie's friend, Mr. Steen, came forward and said that he was actually watching the live stream on the day that Ronnie died. Ronnie was streaming for hours before it happened, and this was actually very common for Ronnie. Apparently, he streamed on Facebook quite a bit. Around 10 p.m., Ronnie actually did show the gun in the video, and he actually misfired it during the live stream. This friend who came forward said that he reported it at that time to Facebook and asked them to take it down. Apparently, a lot of his friends, including this friend, was watching the live stream, and they were trying to talk to Ronnie, comfort him, and apparently they all knew that he was possibly going to do this, and that was possibly how it was going to end. And there was a lot of warning signs that that was where this live stream was headed, and they were trying to report it to Facebook, and Facebook didn't take it down, said that it didn't violate any of their guidelines. I'm pretty sure that just having a gun shown on a live stream on Facebook in general does violate the guidelines. I'm fairly confident. So that in itself should have been enough to take it down. But the friend didn't even hear back from Facebook for at least an hour and a half, I believe, and Ronnie had already been dead at that point. But basically the point is that Facebook had a chance to stop this live stream before this happened, and a lot of his friends had a feeling that this is where it could have gone. He might have died anyway, but at least they could have taken the video down before this happened. And I didn't know this when I made the first video, but apparently over 200 people were watching this live stream when it happened, including a lot of Ronnie's friends. The friends were trying to call and comfort him, but of course it didn't work. And yes, by the way, the police did actually show up at his apartment, and they did try calling the police to get him help. I don't know what happened or why the police obviously couldn't enter. I'm guessing Ronnie would not answer the door, but they did actually try to help him in any way that they could. This same friend thinks that maybe it's bots that's spreading this video everywhere, and that means that this group on the dark web made bots because all the profiles and all the videos are identical. And so that leads the friend to think that maybe that this is some sort of automated thing, that they were able to spread it very far and wide. And again, this just leads us back to the same question of why this is so hard for social media to get rid of this video. They can detect all this stuff really easily. Like, remember when COVID first started and YouTube was demonetizing anybody that said the word coronavirus or COVID, and they were able to just detect that and demonetize those like automatically? If their technology is that great, why has it been so hard to take this down? And it really worries me that this dark web group that orchestrated all this is gonna figure that out, that it was easy to do and they're not able to take it down. Conclusion, everybody continue to be careful, continue to click off if you see this man's face on one of your videos, if you're on TikTok or any social media platform, because apparently it is still circulating. As far as we know, it has not completely been taken down, so please be careful out there. Please leave me a comment down below, let me know what you think, subscribe to my channel if you want to, and I will see everybody in the next video.